fresh. We're here at the Fresh Factory with Diabetes New Zealand and the lovely Brett McGregor, and we're going to cook something from your newest book, Chop Chop.
This is kind of like next level fish and chips. Obviously I'm not going to deep fry it though. I'm going to keep it, a whole piece of fish beautifully cooked off in some coconut water, served with some kumara fries in there. So you don't need to be adding any extra sugars, you don't need to be doing anything like that. What you do need to do is make sure you're cooking with real food.
So what made you start doing recipes for Diabetes New Zealand?
My best friend, Bud's, Aaron Patel, I grew up with him, we played rugby together, I've known him since I was 5. As a youngster he was diagnosed with diabetes. He was a gruff bloke, prop from my rugby team, big dude. He didn't eat right, he didn't do the right things. He lost vision in his eyes. Then his body started to kind of shut down, and then finally the dialysis was just too much for his body and his heart gave way. 42 years old, but there are things that you can do, simple changes that you can make in your life that will make a difference. And so I'm doing it because this is what I can do to maybe help change someone's attitude towards it.
So talk me through some of the things that we're going to put in here.
Okay, with a little bit of fish sauce that adds the saltiness that we're going to be looking for. We have a little bit of oil, some garlic, we have some coconut water. Again, really good qualities coming from there, obviously to rehydrate, things like that. We've got some onion, and we're using 3 or 4 different varieties of kumara to make the wedges today. So I've got the oven set up, it's on 200 degrees. All I've done to these is I've just scrubbed them clean, I've left the skins on. So we'll just drizzle a little bit of oil, season with a little bit of salt, straight into the oven, and cook them until they're nice and golden on the outside and just cooked through in the centre. Okay, so first thing is the garlic. Now we're going to cook this on a medium heat. Now not too hot because we don't want that garlic to burn, but just enough so that we're going to get a nice golden colour on it because we're going to get a huge amount of flavour out of it. A little sweeter, it's a bit nutty, really delicious. The onion is going to go in once you get a bit of colour on there, so it does take 2 or 3 minutes, but it's worth taking the time. Now we've got some fish sauce here. Okay, now we're using salt and fish sauce. If you used twice as much fish sauce instead of salt, it gets a little bit aggressive in flavour. And if you're the kind of person that doesn't really like fish sauce, then you can leave that ingredient out altogether and just season it with salt. So just layer those over the top like so. You don't really need to even combine these too much at the moment. A tablespoon of fish sauce goes in. That's the base flavour with a little bit of salt. Now this is salt reduced soy sauce. Go for a salt reduced, don't go for a light because light doesn't necessarily mean salt reduced. So that goes in. A little bit of water, because again we want to make sure that we mellow everything out. Okay, if you don't use a little bit of water, what happens is it becomes way too strong. And now the piece de resistance, the coconut water. Okay, now you want to bring that up as soon as it starts coming up to the boil. Actually, I might even add in some chilli, shall we?
Yeah,
we'll put some in now and we'll save some for later. Okay, so it's coming up to the boil, you can see, because what we want to do is we want this to reduce a little bit. If we need to add in a touch more water at some stage, of course we will, because we'll taste it. But now we're just going to carefully lay the fish in. Now you want fillets that are basically around about the same size. This is skin off, you can use skin on. Place the skin side down first. Now we're just going to cook that for about 2 minutes. I always cook it a little bit further on one side and then just flick it over and finish it off straight off the heat. Kumara is going to be delicious, but we're going to really thinly slice some silver beet and just add that in at the end. That'll wilt down really nicely and we're ready to serve. I can turn that off. Sprinkle over some chilli. Optional of course. You've done a really good job.
Thank you very much.
But chop chop, that's plainer.
I'm so sorry. So sorry, chef. Yes, chef. Look at that. Thank you very much for coming into the Fresh Factory. It's been lovely to have you here. And I have to say, thanks to Diabetes New Zealand as well for giving us a great dish.